All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Finally, it's been a few weeks, but we got a real show this time. No more of that Tim bull crap. Thanks for joining us. This is You, Me, and BTC episode 258. Isn't that great, guys? We got an episode that is 258. This is our first episode 258 ever. So here goes nothing.
He's already annoying me.
As you may have already noticed, hopefully, if you read the show notes or the title, today's schedule is to Nike and chill. So,
nice.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. That is, I'll tell you what, we also don't have a sponsor, so we're just going to roll right into it. If anyone wants to sponsor, let us know. I feel like you could figure out how to get in touch with us. You're smart enough for that. I will share as well.
We are unpaid. We owe no one our allegiance. We are unfiltered, unbridled, and sadly unintoxicated too.
Yeah. But that being said, I will chill for Soros as soon as he gives me a little bit of money. I don't give it to me in a paper bag. Give me like a liquor bottle in a paper bag. I will take that as well, sir.
That's the plan. Maybe. So the the place to be tonight. I'll tell you what, guys. This chat here is going to be our key tonight. Jump in, like I said, Nike and chill. That's all we got for tonight. So jump in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're eating, what you're drinking. I mean, just have some fun. We'll read it all. I said on Twitter, anything you say can and will be used against you on the air. So make sure you make use of the chat. This is you, me, and BTC.com/live. That'll take you right here as it does every week. You got the video, the chat, the virtually non-existent show notes, and a poll. I do have a poll, guys, and I'll stick it to you because it's an important question. One of the only important things we got to do tonight. The question is, do you care? And the options are A, nah, B, no way, C, nope, or D, no sir. So what do you think, guys? What's your vote here?
I'm going with no.
That's not an option.
We're not falling into your plans, Daniel. This is
no way is the closest thing. No way. I got no
controlled opposition.
I got nah.
It's so like it's hard to care when there's a bunch of cool stuff being built right now. Like it's a popular narrative, I guess, that in bear markets you get the most work done because you can focus and there's not as much price noise. But at the same time, there's so much dumb price noise from all these idiots who are like, Bitcoin crashed 5% again. It's the end this time.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Did we ever find a reason for yesterday's drop? Like what? Like
oh, sorry, that was me, guys. My bad.
Yeah, Tim sold his, a tenth of his stash, and it plummeted.
I bought a Syrian army for about 2 months, so I'm gonna be doing some shit, movers and shakers.
Someone was vandalizing one of his South African properties, so we hired mercenaries for an afternoon. And
not mercenaries, a mercenary army.
Speaking of mercenaries, there was a story. It's like a month or two old, but I heard it more recently, and I almost wanted to cover it tonight, so we can touch on it. Well, I don't know how much it'll take up, but there was a story, a follow-up on assassination markets, because they did show up a little on Augur. So I maybe we'll get there in a bit. But I want to do just a quick another reminder. The place to be, seriously, come chat with us. The chat's important tonight. It's you, me, and BTC.com/live, and we'll have some fun. That's the plan for tonight. Also, I should say we got a new guest here. Finally, it's been a while. I've been meaning to. You saw me on a couple episodes. My studio was changing fast, and I had the Silk Toad for like 2 or 3 days or whatever shows. Then he disappeared for a while, but he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to my little friend, the Silk Toad. He's actually pretty big up there, almost as big as me. That's kind of scary. Anyway, so
yeah,
yeah, price going ham. and assassination markets open up. Do you guys know what Augur is?
I just looked at it.
I mean, it's been around for several years. It's one of those stupid projects, not stupid, but just like annoying projects that's like for years and years and years, you're like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to do this on the blockchain. We're going to do this on the blockchain. And it goes and it goes and it sounds great and it sounds great. And then it's like, okay. Now, that's what I love about Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin works. Like it was a thing 10 years ago, and that was all it needed to be. I mean, you could talk about improving UX and stuff, but I don't even care if everyone can use it because I can use it, and that's all I need. So there is that. I mean, Lightning Network, yeah, I love it. I can't wait. I'm excited, but Bitcoin still works. It's a product that does something. So I do like that. But yeah, assassination markets on Augur. It's a prediction market. It's basically gambling on anything you want. And the idea is like if you get enough people betting on the right side, the right outcome, that might be the truth. Or if it's not the truth, people are incentivized to share the truth because they can win by betting on the truth. That's kind of the idea. Wisdom of the crowds is one of those big terms that comes up. But the risk then, and we covered assassination markets years ago on this show. I don't know what we said about them, but we covered them. And
we probably said they were good.
Yeah, well, most likely, yeah. But the reason prediction markets are the same thing is because if you bet on someone getting assassinated, then you assassinate them and you get a big payout because you bet that would happen. So it goes both ways. You can incentivize people to share the truth, but then also once the bets are made, people are incentivized to make those bets happen. So that's a thing. And of course, I'll give you one guess who the first person on the assassination market was. Anyone? He looks a little bit like a Cheeto.
Roger Ver.
Roger, no. Roger Ver, the great and powerful. He's building a wall across our blockchains.
It was the great and powerful Donald Trump of Oz. But I didn't follow up. Like I said, the story was a month or two old. I didn't check how many bets were made, or I didn't even check if Donald Trump died or not. I wasn't that interested. So maybe he did. We got Carl Wickman in the chat. Thanks for joining us, bud. He says, we need more cupcakes on the blockchain. And to be honest, yes. I mean, how can you go wrong? I love cupcakes. I shouldn't, but I do. I love the blockchain. So let's put cupcakes on the blockchain and everything's good. That's my plan. Thanks for chatting with us, Carl. We'll be here all night. Carl Wickman. Tim, seriously, I intentionally did not research this because I wanted you to do my work for me. What is going on in the Supreme Court?
You think I know? I'm still just focusing on assassination markets and you saying that I was just trying to figure out what you meant by the betting thing, but I was just reading the thing.
Hold on. Then let's save the Supreme Court for later. Then I want to know more about assassination markets. Then
I didn't say I had much to say about it other than that. Sure, let's go ahead. I was looking the article and like Reddit people were like, this is immoral and it's wrong, and then we're doing all kinds of shit. I also don't think that it's necessarily just for that. I've seen like death pool betting before, like from the same idea as the movie. But like celebrity death pools, just like betting on somebody dying or something. So I don't think it's inherently someone just ordering somebody else's execution. It's more to say, hey, well, like if I was going to bet on it, I'd bet on like plenty of people in what's his name, Duterte over in the Philippines, like a bunch of people. Apparently a bunch of mayors are getting shot over there. So I read a little bit about that this week. A bunch of mayors are just, I don't know if it's because they're opposition to him or people are just like fuck it, you're a druggie or something like that. But
I don't. Please do not quote me on these numbers, but yeah, I mean something like hundreds of politicians just go missing or die or whatever, and because that's just the way things are. Like if you have a stance that's even remotely against the dictator, you just disappear pretty quick. Yeah, hundreds of politicians at least, maybe thousands. I don't know. Don't quote me. It could be 2, but still.
It's like 3 people. 3 people, and then the BitConnects guy's wife.
And her.
Okay. And Supreme Court, I guess. I don't really know. I just know I've seen a bunch of pictures of like people getting handed money or one lady getting handed money. I think Kavanaugh, some guy that is going to be kind of pushed through with Trump. Everybody's making a fuss about it. I'm not the person that's really going to be affected by this, so you have to take anything I say about it as not care. Like I'm going to say don't care. Maybe you should care, depending on who you are. But it seems like the only reason, like, we're talking about it because, like we said at the beginning of the episode, there's literally nothing really interesting right now besides people going, "Oh yeah, Bitcoin, it was a bubble. I told you to get out. I told you about it." It's also people that are like, "What?"
At the Supreme Court?
No, all the Supreme Court politicians are like, "Yo, you idiots, sell your Bitcoin." No, Supreme Court. I think the biggest issue right now, like people are showing up in Handmaiden. Is that what the book's called? There's like some book or movie where, what'd you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, there's some book or movie where there's some kind of dystopian future where I think women are treated as property or something along those lines. So then people are showing up and just dressing like that because it's a form of protest. I don't get half these protests because it just seems like a dress up time for most of these people anyway.
Or I don't dress know down. If you burn all your Nike stuff, what are you going to have left to wear?
I said don't talk about Nike, Daniel. Shut up. Yes, no, we can also just burn our clothing. And I don't even know what to say about. Well, no, I do know what to say about both sides of this. And it's just like, why we're getting so, it's just so corporate at this point, which that's most of the stuff. But I guess same thing with this Handmaid. Like everything we do now is some kind of weird connection to some giant media company. Like, oh, there's this show. Let's make posters and buy things, and we're gonna have a protest centered around Harry Potter, and then Trump's Voldemort, and we're dressed up in clothing. But I think the big thing with Supreme Court is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who I don't think is ever going to die. You can put all the money you want on her on the assassination market. She's going to stay alive forever. If she goes out, then the Republicans will have a greater majority or something like that. And then they're going to take away abortion, or they're going to take away funding, or they're going to take, like, people on the one side are going, this is going to be great. We're going to make America Christian again. And then on the other side, people are like, they're going to, no, everything's going to just fall apart. And then everybody's going to die. And then we're not, I don't know. It seems like a lot of, like with all these things, I don't know if they're, my initial reaction to a lot of this shit, because I like to believe in like conspiracy bullshit, like it makes things a little bit more fun, is there is something happening. Like it seemed like a lot of time if there was some big military operation, or they were trying to push that through, or I mean they did on several occasions put through I don't know the exact word I'm looking for, but like additions to the Patriot Act, just kind of quietly, as everybody's screaming about gay marriage, or everybody's screaming about weed being this kind of, I figured, is going to be the same thing. We're not going to, like, unless there's money in something, I don't think you have to worry about something going away. We've made the argument before, and we've talked about, I think, gun control before, where we go, they're probably not going to, or at least I've said, they're probably not going to take your guns because they don't give a shit. You already pay them 50% of your income, so it doesn't matter. But also, they take that away, then we're also losing a bunch of money we can make. So anything where they can go, like if your right is given to you by a corporation at this point, whether that's guns or abortion or whatever it is, it's probably not going to get taken away because government never takes stuff away from corporations. I have arguments with family members because they're not like they're not Trump supporters, but they're like, yep, no, he's gonna, with our new our tariffs now, it's gonna make business good in America again. I was like, I don't know, maybe, but it seems like they're the ones that made shit before because they don't really give a fuck about where they do business. They're kind of just like a corporation doesn't have to be, but it's very often international. And they're like, no, it's really been hurting them. It's terrible for the coal and energy companies. They hate the fact that they can outsource stuff or something like that. I don't understand most of the stuff. I'm also, I don't know if you can tell from the video, I'm very sunburned. My brain still feels like it's cooking a little bit, so I need to stop talking, let them go for a little bit. Daniel looks paler than usual. I'll let him go.
If anyone out there wants more of this right here, but without having to see Tim, make sure you tune in on Mondays for Tim's 2 cents or Tim's 2 Satoshis or something along those lines.
Millibits.
Apparently he hates his show name, which reminds me, Tim, I owe you some kind of argument, some kind of, I'm supposed to be mad about something, but I don't know what yet because I think your last episode, possibly 2 episodes ago, you said in your show notes that you were going to dump some dirt on me and Zach, but I haven't had time to listen to that yet. So I really want to go at you and argue about whatever we're supposed to argue about, but I'm not ready to yet. So we'll get there probably next week, guys. Make sure you come back.
Yeah.
We still got Carl in the chat here. Says politics are a real all-you-can-eat popcorn shit show. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a pop. Like what does that have to do with popcorn? It's
all you can eat pop. That, like, when you watch. That's Tim. Are you on? Have you ever used the internet?
No.
Anytime there's drama.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I'm getting the popcorn. I'm here. I'm just here to watch. So. Also, Carl says, Nike is so... All right, this is not me, Tim, so don't get mad at me. This is not me talking. Oh, also...
Carl, be quiet.
I know a lot of people rip on me for saying Nike because that's how I always... Like, that's like the... I'm not an idiot. I know it's Nike, but I've always thought people shortened it to Nike. Like, oh, I got a nice pair of Nikes over there. And so if you're going to rip on me for that, just... hit the close out button. Don't bother finishing this show.
Don't chase people away because you can't pronounce things right.
I know we very rarely chase people away on this show. Obviously, we shill ourselves nonstop. But if you're going to hate on me, just go home. That's all I'm saying. He says, Nike's so hot, RN on fire, literally. So there is that. Also, I was thinking, the other weird thing today, just as obnoxious as this Nike stuff or whatever. Not, what does he say? Nike, N-A-I-K, Nike. Apparently that's Satoshi's original pronunciation, according to Carl. If anyone other than Carl wants to jump in the chat, you, me, and btc.com/live. The other really weird thing today, which, again, it's like so meaningless. It'll disappear in a week. But, and I miss a lot of these freaking like drama things. Friggin' what's her face gets banned from some restaurant and all this little things. Like I like hear a little bit about it and like never really understand what's going on in the White House or wherever else, or some celebrity is. Yeah, I hear about all this dramatic stuff, but I never like pay attention to it. I did pay a little bit of attention today to this piece in the New York Times that was supposedly written by like a Trump like official, but he's
I had to see. I woke up to people on Instagram just like, this is gonna break everything wide open. They have a memo now. Dude, what about the memo? Are you gonna listen to the memo?
Yeah.
It's a memo. It's just gonna break your entire. It's like, guys, they never put anything in these fucking memos. It's always just like, oh, it's crazy, and then like, oh yeah, it doesn't really say that much, and then they go, well, we have on good authority that this blah 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 blah.
Yeah, so that was fun. Geez, Trump tweeted like, this person must be revealed for national security purposes. Like, yeah, that is such a threat.
His first tweet was just like, treason?
I did see that, yeah.
Like what is like going through his head? It's literally like a 6-year-old. Like, we need to do something about this. Like okay, can't even handle that.
And then he tweeted, I couldn't quite craft a good funny tweet, but he was like, this gutless staffer published an anonymous op-ed. And I wanted to make a joke about how Satoshi Nakamoto was gutless for publishing the white paper anonymously, but
Yeah.
I couldn't quite put it together.
Yeah, well, Edward Snowden was a piece of shit when he ran away. How dare stay and take your beating like a man, sir. Although that is a decent point where then you're like, well, Trump's a fuck. Like, he is. But then like Obama went after people too. Obama just didn't go. He didn't go on Twitter and do like a schoolyard taunt. He was just like, "Yep, no, get him." Bush fucking invaded what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not willing to even talk about the different names. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they did. They're all obnoxious. They're all deranged, and so I'm willing to laugh at them. I'm willing to think it's hilarious, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth, like, well, Obama did this. Well, Bush did this. Well, Trump.
I'm making your point, just trying to take more time up with it, basically.
Yeah, I almost said I could care less, and some people would rip on me for that one too. So just
rip on it
all day, guys.
I just want someone to publish an op-ed like in the Onion or something. I am a Trump administration official, and I am Satoshi Nakamoto, and just publish it anonymously. I would lose it. So much good material.
Yeah, it is funny though. I work in a media company, and so I can just imagine the people in the office.
You are fake news.
Pretty much. I can just imagine in a similar type of office, people okay, so we have this guy, and we know who he is. We're in contact with him. We know he's this guy in the Trump administration. I got this. We don't normally publish this kind of thing, but let's publish this kind of thing and see what happens. It's just funny. I don't know.
We don't usually do this, but let's definitely do it anyway.
Yeah.
First in a lifetime opportunity.
And they also mid-article, they put 4 or 5 paragraphs in, they put a whole big contact box that was if you have questions about how we find our sources, please ask us in this box. I do not even want to know what kind of stuff people submitted in that, all caps, angry people, what? You are hurting America. Because same thing, as I work at a media company, and the people that scroll all the way down to the bottom and use the comment box or click the button to submit a correction, there is just some obnoxious stuff that comes through there. So anyway, hey, so this is good. This is working out because I've still got 3 more things. I'm gonna say them right now so I don't forget. I don't have notes. I never have notes, so I probably will forget. But I already probably forgot some things. But a couple things we got to touch on. First of all, Carl wants to let us know about the Trollcoin Twitter tip bot, so we'll mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. I want to get an update on both of your shows because they've both been great lately, and why not? Because it's just worth talking about where everything's going. Tim, I know, is changing directions as of the past 3-4 weeks. So we'll do that update in a second. Also, on a related note, we also sort of mentioned the whole Tim's 2 Satoshis thing. I want to talk to Tim about the name of his show and see if I can figure out why he doesn't like it or whatever. So that'll be in a second. And I'm sure I've thought of other things that we need to get to today. So, this is working out. We were due for a chill show. All these little things we got to work on, touch up on, random Trump stories that we can laugh at. Like this, we needed this. So that's today. Nike or whatever. Yeah, Trollcoin Twitter tip bot. Was that he says that was Zach's request? Is that right? Have you used it, Zach?
So I hope he's not watching right now because I haven't used it yet. But that's only because I've been recording at least one podcast interview almost every day this week. A couple days too.
Holy dang!
We've got a lot of cool stuff coming down the. I need to turn down my mic there. Got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm pretty pumped. But he messaged me on Twitter the other day that the Trollcoin tip bot is up and ready to go, and I'm floored. I'm gonna probably test it out and tip him or YMB BTC account on Twitter and see what happens. But yeah, I'm pumped for it to be live on Twitter. This is huge. The bear market, like I said at the beginning of the show, is when the best development in the space happens. And now we have a Trollcoin tip bot. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the bear market can be over now. Like, what else could how much better could the bear market get? We have everything we want. So,
don't worry. Carl said in the chat that he is not watching, so you're good. He didn't hear any of that.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
He also says that he can't wait for Tim to upgrade to 3 Satoshis.
Man.
We had this discussion before a couple times. We're pretty sure Tim has like, I don't know, call it like 3 trillion Satoshis somewhere in his back pocket. So hopefully he upgrades pretty soon. I don't think there's any question in our minds anymore that Tim is a Bitcoin trillionaire. I know there's not even $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin out there, but Tim is still a Bitcoin trillionaire, probably. So, yeah. Yeah, so Trollcoin's a thing. Let me know how it goes, Zach, how the tipping works and everything. It could be great. Yeah, hit me with a show update. Like, well, yeah, you said like interviews every day this week, Zach.
Oh yeah, we got. So I host obviously the Coin Pod, and I struggle because I'm glad we have Yumi and BTC because I try. I mean, Trollcoin is a perfect example. I try hard to keep the content and interviews of Yumi or of the Coin Pod like strictly Bitcoin focused. So we have like some Lightning developers, some like Bitcoin journalists and economists, and just a whole bunch of people like fund managers on the show. But it's all 100% Bitcoin. The problem is there's so much interesting stuff that isn't like strictly Bitcoin going on out there, like Trollcoin, for example, cool projects. And I can't put it on my show because of my brand, but you mean BTC is like the hangout for literally everything having to do with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and Liberty. And if you're not free to tip troll coins to your fellow Twitter users, then what are we doing with our lives? So yeah, the CoinPod is catching some fire lately. I'm pretty excited. We just got added to the World Crypto Net like podcast syndicate platform, something. Still working out the details of that. But yeah, every Tuesday we're having new hot take interviews with cool people doing stuff for Bitcoin. And I've started doing on weekend, and by started I mean I've had one. We're lining up a second one, doing like super short interviews with developers behind different BIPs, Bitcoin improvement proposals. So we did BIP 156 the other weekend, Dandelion Protocol. I'm working with figuring out a time to chat with one of the developers that introduced BIP 158, which is some sort of like lightweight client filter, transaction filter or something. I honestly don't understand it completely, but that's kind of the point of doing these interviews so that I and my listeners can understand it better. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. It's great. So a lot of cool stuff coming down.
I think the bottom line is that the sign what am I trying to say? whatever. What I'm getting out of everything you just said is that you are way more committed to this whole network and Bitcoin thing than I am. Because these days,
I don't know about that.
I'm lucky if I can write like 2-paragraph show notes once a week now. I'm lucky if I can post Tim's show on a Monday instead of a Tuesday or a Wednesday as I did last night. So, and Zach is out here recording like 9 days a week and keeping track of all the bips, which I couldn't tell you anything about. So, and Zach already passed me on followers like months ago. So, if anyone wants to keep up with the real legend around here, make sure you follow at Zach Vol on Twitter. And, but hey, he's still on my network, so it's all me.
Exactly. I can't like it at the end. So disclosure, I mean, Tim and Dan know they run their own podcasts, and then we all come in on this one too. But like at the end of every episode on the Coin Pod, I give a shout out to Tim and Dan because there is zero chance I would be here right now without like Dan being suffering through being my roommate for a year, and then me meeting. I've still never met Tim in real life. For those of you who are watching who didn't know, like we've never met in real life, but I would never. There's no chance I'd be here like doing the stuff I am without them teaching me about Bitcoin. So they're the legends in my mind. I'm just this scrub who likes to talk and ask questions. But I mean, so I started the Coin Pod just because I wanted to have an excuse to talk with people who I meet on Twitter. And if anyone wants to listen to the conversations, that like makes me happy that you think they're worth your time. If you do want to listen to them, great. I'm just there to sort of ask questions and go from there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'll drop another reminder that our chat is wide open these days. So you, me, and btc.com/live will take you there tonight. Although I would imagine like 99% of our listeners listen to the podcast. So what are you doing with your life? Come find us every Thursday night, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, hey, I owe the same thing to Tim, Zach. Like, well, let me clarify. I don't owe Tim anything, but he is the one that technically told me about Bitcoin. So I think it's only fair since I've been such a good apprentice to Tim. I mean, this was like at least 5 years. Holy cow. This was a long time ago. Man, it's got to be 6, 7. Anyway, all I'm saying is I've been such a great apprentice to you, Tim. So I think it's only fair if you give me like 30% of your Bitcoin trillions. I mean, just to keep me going on this great path. So there is that.
No. What are you talking about? Why would I give an apprentice? You don't do an apprenticeship and then just get more shit from the guy you're doing the apprenticeship from.
I don't know. I feel like you could handle it. It's only
you finagled me. You finagled me out of the card game shit. So I'm gonna hate you forever for that. No, I don't follow with any of this. Like Zach, your stuff is just better than mine. This has nothing like Daniel. You don't owe anything to Daniel or I. Maybe this is me getting rid of any response. Like if I want to get rid of responsibility in my life, I have to do it everywhere. But Daniel, you also owe me nothing. If anything, no, I'm not going to say I owe you anything either because fuck you guys. But
that's what I said. 30%. It's
no, I'm not giving you anything. How did you come up with 30%? 30%. I deserve money back for going in with you with that dumb miner thing. I shouldn't have never done that. You ruined me. I could have put that money in Bitcoin. I could have had so much.
Oh man.
How dare you? No. If anything, I should be paid for that for providing you I was the model for the website for a little bit.
Just think just think in 5 years, however many hundreds of dollars Tim lost, he's going to look back and think, that's worth $5 million now.
Exactly. Thank you, Daniel.
I think, I mean, I know we did a show on failures way back in the day about like how we've just like screwed up different things and lost money here and lost money there. I have no idea what episode it would have been. I'm not going to guess. But what I do know, what I don't have to guess on this, is that since that episode, we've continued to like screw up all kinds of stuff. Like, let's try out this project. Like, and I mean, it's cliche.
It's fun, though. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not throwing thousands of dollars into any of these things. It's just like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll throw a few bucks in.
Well, to get like somewhat serious about it. I feel like I've made this point enough too on my show. Maybe I shouldn't, but the getting better at something and getting you're going to just fuck things up over and over again. Nobody, like the people that we look at, it's like they have these like seamless, and it seems like they never mess up. One, it's because they're so popular that we kind of just gloss over like mistakes. Like, I'll still listen to like bigger podcasts, and then they just have like a minute of just dead air, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this right now? Like, even I don't fuck things up, but
no, I agree. Like, I listen to, so like there are Bitcoin podcasts out there that are bigger than all three of our shows combined, and I listen to their episodes sometimes, and I'm like, why is this so popular? Like, I'm an amateur, and I produce higher quality content than this, and I'm mostly doing it for free, just as a hobby, and they have like sponsors and stuff. I want to like so much love for everyone working on anything related to Bitcoin, obviously, but I want to just be like, email their sponsors, hey, if you want to support a better quality podcast, like, hit me up, I got you. I don't know, it's just it's just quirky.
I did briefly mention earlier that we don't currently have a sponsor, so I'm dead serious. Hit us up at you, me, and BTC on Twitter, or better yet, email me directly, Daniel at youmeandbtc.com, or just go to our website and click a contact button or whatever, and you'll find ways to reach me. Just seriously, we're legit, and so help us out. This
like
is
through website views, total downloads and listens and retweets and all this stuff. Like, we easily get monthly like 250,000 eyeballs looking at our content. It's like, it's not some sort of small garage
small
band.
Potatoes over here.
Yeah, we ain't small potatoes, and it's
got
like
that right.
it's pretty fucking awesome. But I mean, c'est la vie. Well, yeah.
If anyone's watching now at my screen share, this is Tim briefly mentioned how he was the model. He was the show's model for quite a while. And I'll be honest, I think I made like slightly bigger versions of the same image, but I don't know, I couldn't find one, so I just had this one and zoomed in. So it might be a little blurry, but this is without a doubt one of the best pieces of media that we've ever created. In fact, or especially the source, the video that created this image. Because what we did was took a Butterfly Labs miner, which everyone at the time anyway, everyone knew how much of a ripoff Butterfly Labs was. These days, probably no one knows who they are. But at the time, we got a Butterfly Labs miner. It took us months and months and months to get. Then it over time, it got worn out. So we took it out back and literally shot it with shotguns and rifles and burned it and hacked it up with axes and put some hardcore screamo rage music to it. So that's how Tim became the face of our podcast on this image. And I think it's still one of my favorite things ever. So that's what Tim was referring to.
You want to go listen to a podcast with some cartoon characters on the front? That's what you want to sponsor companies? Zach wants to have all this love for people. I am definitely considering just trying to start and just turn heel on everything, like the whole rest of everything. Like if we do need maybe. I'm not gonna say we need this. Might be somewhat beneficial if we just go after people. Like if we can start some like I want to start a Bitcoin civil war, but be done with the whole like, oh, we're gonna make different subreddits. Like let's beat the shit out of people in public. And also, as far as a commercial, I will shout your company name at Daniel's wedding at the end of the month if you pay me enough. So there's that as well.
If you pay him double, I'll do it too, and then kill him and take the whole pot.
There, that'll go. And everybody will remember that company. If two people scream it and the one guy shoots the other one, what kind of advertising do you people want?
There is no way people will not look up your website and say, what kind of company is this? Yeah. This dude shot his friend at a wedding.
Yeah, all 10 people that I can get to show up at my wedding, they're going to be Googling Nike. So.
It's crazy. Bitcoin Bella, if you're watching, you better be my date to this wedding because I need a +1.
Yeah, or Bitcoin Bella or Bitcoin Bell, either way.
Oh, true. Either way, Bitcoin Bell loves Tim. Tim can just bring her. But so speaking about money, I want to shill our ethics. We say we're dumb and not ethical, but we do have ethics because if we really wanted money, I guarantee you, if we pivoted this show to you, me, and BCH, Roger Ver would pay us out the ass to shill Bcash.
I also, speaking of not catching up on Tim's episodes, I also did not listen to last week's episode, which was called, I was not here. It was called the Screw Bcash Rage Fest. I wish Zach was there. Yeah.
I wanted to be on that episode so bad, but I was stuck at work. So we'll have to redo it again sometime.
I feel like Tim the whole time would have just been like, yeah, I think Bcash is bad, whatever that is. But
literally, I probably said I'm the worst person to be doing this episode probably like 20 times to fill up time. And I was like, Craig. Yeah, how's Craig doing? I call him Craig. We're a little bit close.
Oh, yeah, Craig Wright too. Oh, it was going to be so much fun. Anyway, so I apologize for anyone that listened last week. I'm leaving this image up because I just want to say one more thing I like about it. Which, yes, I'm tooting my own horn here for sure. We put a bullet hole right over the middle of the word Butterfly Labs so that it just says Butt Labs. I mean, that's clever, right? Like, that's pretty clever.
I hate that you're pointing. I already pointed it out, Daniel. Leave it alone.
So that's all I got from me for that image. You know what? I'm going to check. I think the link still works. btc.com/BFL for Butterfly Labs. I believe this works. Please work. Yes, it will take you to the video that of us shooting and burning that miner. Me and btc.com/BFL. And while I'm giving out our excitingly perfect URL that is so easy for me to say on the air hundreds of times, also, last few minutes to jump in the chat if you're interested. Me and btc.com/live to find the chat. And I still am hoping for a show update a little bit. Well, we got Zach, so Tim, hit me. What's been your shift over the past few weeks?
Running out of wanting to actually look up belief systems and instead changing to I have this thought, let me see how long I can spew out nonsense about it. I don't know, I figured most of it's inconsequential enough anyway that if other people are going to start putting out news that means almost nothing and everyone's going to freak out about it, I could at least try to jump on that bandwagon. But apparently that hasn't worked too well because the guy who tweeted the You, Me, and BTC about how to change my title didn't even know my Twitter handle, so it's not working. But it's mostly I've talked about this on there, but doing any of the other stuff that sounds kind of creepy. I was doing that or doing any of the other stuff that I do. Mostly it's just trying to have an outlet. I have a little bit of an issue where, especially if I don't do these things, I then just like shout at family members and loved ones and just screaming like, you don't even understand what they're doing over here. And they're like, like people that care are like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then I have to like apologize to them later because I'm like, we were having a conversation about nothing. Like there was no segue to me screaming about how all of this is bullshit, which is what basically I could boil most of my arguments down to. But I wanted to try to do a Monday morning podcast, and I don't know, condense the last week, the weekend into something, try to make some sense of it. I want to eventually, I don't know, I don't know if this is even the place to do it, but I want to eventually, I've mentioned this to Daniel, I want to start doing not an audio book, but like audio recording of like story, mine or other people's, and try to start putting that out regularly. I'm trying to think of a name. I want to do that just so that I can try to learn from. Huh? Yeah.
You mean fiction?
Sorry, I don't know why I said huh.
Would you be writing and recording them, or just like reading stories?
If I could have that output, I'd prefer to do just like everything original content from there. I also just want to try to do it for the sake of just practicing putting a podcast together and like trying to do like an actual intro, set that up for myself, like pull audio. I want to start pirating things in something that I produce. I want to just take people's music and put it like go to like the exact limit of what you're allowed to steal from people, which is what, like 7 how many seconds are you allowed to have of copyright music?
I don't have the slightest clue. No idea. Yeah, Tim always sends me whenever he sends me an image for his shows, it's like some random website found. I'm like, yeah, it's totally free for us to use. We're good.
Well, no, I go back and forth because it's like, no, most of them do are like, this image may or may not be copyright. I'm like, this isn't helpful. I'll just, if you're gonna come after me, maybe I'm big enough at that point that it helps out a little bit. If random, no, although I will sometimes steer away from like bigger websites, and I'll just go to like some random blog and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take your shit because you probably stole it anyway. But I don't know. Tweet me encouragements and make me feel good about myself. That's all I'm really looking for from this podcast.
Hey, I was gonna say on the whole fiction thing, I've always had this secret, deep, dark, secret dream to be a voice artist. So, let me know if you need a voice.
I'll use you for the female voices. I'm sorry, this is going to be a gender neutral podcast. I'll use you for the different
the Z voice?
or other the what? It's a Z.
The Z voices.
Yeah, I'll use you for the Z's or voices. And just be like, hello, my voice is somewhere in between a man and a woman. No one can really categorize it. No, I'm sorry.
All right, so let's experiment here for a second. We still got a few minutes before advice of the week. Describe to me a character that would have a unique voice, not like some like, oh, a serial killer. Okay, but that's not a unique voice. Describe to me a character that you would put in one of your stories that should anyway have some sort of unique voice.
A 14-year-old chronic smoker of 2 packs a day.
All right, let's see here. 14.
Your voice is already fine, Daniel. It's just
male or female.
Doesn't matter. After the cigarettes take hold, it doesn't matter.
Did he have daddy issues?
Yes, plenty of them, and it was yes.
What does he need to say? Like, is he angry or?
No, he's a very happy 14-year-old who smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
All right, I need a line at least.
Okay, a line. The calculator sat on the computer in front of him, open to the first page, semicolon.
Whoa,
5.
No. I need him speaking. I don't want to.
I don't know how to do grammar. He huffed I'm gonna go huff this computer duster to make myself forget about my father.
Okay, where is he? Like,
where is he?
Home? No, I need all of this seriously.
He's in the bedroom that his parents built into the underneath the stairs.
Okay. So 14 years. You know this. Have you ever seen F is for Family? Because that's pretty much the guy that lives in the basement.
I have seen
And
that.
the
Yeah.
son. So 14 years old, male, 2 packs a day, but he's happy, and he's living in the basement. And I forget, did you say he does or doesn't have daddy issues?
He does have daddy issues, and he's yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, that's definitely the guy from F is for Family. You should seriously watch that show. It's you literally just well, he doesn't actually smoke, but he lives in like the 50s, and he probably smoked, time or two. All right. Oh, I still need a line. What the heck? What's
I gave
the
you a
line
line
again?
about compete. Say, I'm getting rid of all of my Nikes.
I'm getting rid of all my Nikes.
Oh, gee, what was that? I don't even know what that was. That sounded more like you were something like Gollum or something.
See, I told you I'm great, aren't I? It's
You're
my
great.
deep dark green.
You're amazing. You're just beautiful.
Anyway,
Don't let anybody tell you different.
What do you mean, Gollum as a smoker? Like that goes together pretty well.
I mean, kind of. It's a little phlegmy for you'd be like, I don't know.
Anyway, all right. Advice of the week. We got to move on.
I loved that segment, didn't you? Zach, I could tell by Zach's face he loved it.
Zach's advice is never do that again.
It's like, guys, let's shut the fuck up.
I actually just watched one of the Lord of the Rings movies the other night for the first time in like a decade, and that was a pretty good imitation of it. So
when did Fellowship of the Ring come out?
2001. 2001, I think.
Oh shit! I actually was like 5, almost 7.
It might have even been 2000. I know because
2001.
It was so like macabre. Like the next year, when the Two Towers came out, like within a year of like 9/11, it's like weird.
Oh no, I do. I remember that, and then I remember because of course I was the guy watching the extended edition commentary because what else is a 12-year-old going to do with his time?
I still watch those like at least once a year. You kidding me?
This coming from the man with the voice of a smoker at 14. There's that scene where the guy like runs up to the walls and then like throws himself in and blows it up. And they were like making a mention that this was influenced by the terror of terrorism that Peter Jackson noticed in the blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we got onto this. Something about Lord of the Rings.
Well, hey, I like that actually. That's my advice. I'm just gonna steal that and say watch it and watch the extended editions and watch the extended commentaries because frick, it's good stuff. It's my advice. All right, Tim, you only have what 7 minutes to figure out your advice.
Great, this is awesome. I don't know, like usual. There's something on the news. Don't like. First off, don't post political opinions to Instagram. Maybe I did a show. I think it was my show. I don't think I did this on the UB and BTC one last week, but Twitter, post it on there if you want. If you're having fun with politics, if you're having fun with just like trying to piss people off, post it on Twitter. But stop with these like people post things in earnest where they're like, "This is going to change something. I want to get my information out to you people so that this person can't sneak this past people." Post on Twitter. Stop posting political messages on Instagram. Shut up. Get involved with your own thing. Make your own podcast so then we can shit on it. We need let's talk Bitcoin.
Yes,
I'll start that right now.
If you have a Bitcoin podcast or a crypto podcast of any sort, comment the name of your show in the chat box now, and we will definitely give it a review on our next live episode. A very strong, honest,
certainly
review.
Or in the chat, or tweet us, or whatever. Or man, I feel like that would make a good. It would be like a
meta.
Yeah, what are those on YouTube? People that like review movies. They're like hour and a half long reviews. It's like we could do that for Bitcoin
like Mystery
podcast.
Science Theater stuff.
Oh yeah, there's several of them, but yeah.
You take that back. I'm fine with that. Yeah, just doing like commentary on podcasts as a podcast. And just like, no, that's what I should be doing is just listening to Joe Rogan podcast and then be like, this is shit. This is garbage. What is he doing here? Joe, what quit? Just quit. Yeah. Other advice. I don't know. Okay, here. If for this weekend, do something different. If you go out all the time, stay in and work on something. If you stay in and work on something, go out and get hammered. Do something different. I don't know if that means traveling. Probably don't do like crack or something, but if you really feel like you have to, I guess I can't say no. Bring I don't know, we don't have a PO box. I was gonna say just send us stuff, but we don't have that. What you can do is just donate more stuff to us. Donate things so that Daniel quits yelling at me and quits saying that I'm not or that I need to give him 30%. Donate enough to Daniel so that he doesn't have to keep trying to leech off of me. And everybody pump the Bitcoin price down so I can buy some more, then pump it up.
Yes.
That's the truth. You heard it here first, kids. Zach, did we get advice out of you, or did I just like say stuff that was your advice?
I agree with Tim about kill the Bitcoin price to like 3,000. That'd be cool. Well, if you do that and give us the name of your podcast, we'll give you a good review. I think you should definitely watch Lord of the Rings too. After we do this show, I'm going to get off and get hammered and watch another movie extended version of Lord of the Rings. Nice. And I think tweet at us if you agree at me and BTC. I think we should do like one episode each month. So every fourth episode is just like Bitcoin drunk talk or something where maybe we'll have a guest, but we just get hammered and talk about Bitcoin. I think that would be fun, but none of us did that. We could definitely never run for public office if we start doing this.
I think we've already. Sorry, go.
We've already said enough things on this show that probably kills any chance we have of running for public office anyway. So why not go for it?
Definitely, if we can get guests and we can have like a precedent set of the guests getting hammered and then they can just tell us shit they regret later, that would be great for podcasts. Yeah. So also, if you're a guest and you would like to ruin any chance for you running for public office or having a functioning business, please come up. We'll allow you to do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. We'll let you go. Free speech, Daniel. Fuck you.
Yeah, isn't Tim? What's that podcast you showed me where? I don't know. I think you said it's. I never saw him. I think you said it's some fat guy and like his friend. It's two guys.
Yeah, it's Duncan? Two fat guys. Huh?
Somebody.
Duncan.
Tim Dillon?
Yeah, no, Tim Dillon is going to hell. It's a podcast. I don't know. Yeah. There's more advice. Go over to Gas Digital is a whole organization of podcasts that are run basically by New York comedians. If you like their latest episodes haven't been the best. You have to subscribe to it to get their back episodes. But specifically, Tim Dillon is going to hell. His earlier episodes. He was what I was talking about, like the 14-year-old who was probably smoking 2 packs a day. He's a large, fat, gay white man who is like leans towards being a Republican. I've listened to like 15-minute long rants about just shitting on unions, which are amazing. He's a ex cokehead, sober now, but that's also why he's fat. He lives in a shitty apartment with a 40-year-old depressed man. There's just garbage everywhere, and apparently it looks like a crack house. Were you going to say something about that?
Yeah, I was going to say I've heard a few of his shows. I laughed quite a bit, but speaking of a drunk episode, I think one of the episodes you showed me, Tim, is where they kind of did that, where they I don't know if they were drunk, but they're being hilarious. They're making fun of things. And then they like have this like serious guy from like the CIA or something on.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and they're like it's like midway through the episode, he like calls in on Skype or whatever, and it's like they're laughing and like ripping on each other, and then they're like, okay, so what was going on in 2005 in the CIA? And then it was funny. It was whatever, ironic and still really interesting. So yeah. Anyway, that just made me think of that because it was like a drunk episode, but I have no idea if they were drunk, but they were being crazy. But the guest was like super highbrow, whatever. So that we could try to pull off a couple of those too.
Mr. Trump, Mr. President. If you
Yeah.
want exposure? Come on here. We'll allow you to speak your mind. He just comes on. He can't say anything outside of like 240 characters from Twitter. He doesn't know how to talk at this point. I'll take you though, sir. You can just I don't know.
No,
Never mind.
Tim will literally take you. Tim will take you.
I'll take you, bro. You want to go to Daniel's wedding, bro? I'll definitely bring Donald Trump to Daniel's wedding.
You want to go, bro?
Bro, come on, just show up, bro.
All right, we have to stop before we take this too far.
It's
we
already
love you guys.
past that.
Yeah, honestly. Thanks for Niking and chilling with us. Dochness in the chat says, "Gentlemen, how are we?" I'll tell you what, we missed you, Dochness.
How are we indeed?
Yeah, it's been real. We'll see you next week, Dochness. 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. We love you. We seriously do. I know we got to run, but it's not a joke. You mean a lot to us. So stick around, and we'll see you next week. Keep an eye out for Tim's cents on Monday if I get around to it. And Zach's the Coin Pod. He's, like I said, Zach's the legend here. He's way more on top of it than I am. And he's way more on top of it than Tim is, too, because Zach knows how to post his own episodes. So you'll actually get Zach's shows.
You're pulling too much out from behind the curtain, Daniel. Shut up now.
All right. Peace out,
Take
everyone.
us off air. Take us off the air.
Yeah, cut it.
Until next time, the place to be, you, me, and BTC.com. All right, we're out. Bye.